Hey guys, how's it going? Eli here, back with another video where today we're going to be going over the what if, or the more or less what now are we going to do in the Pokemon market now that we've started to see a lot of prices drop. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So obviously I don't want to kind of beat a dead horse on this overall topic, but it's still good to kind of build upon it. We've obviously seen a lot of Pokemon prices start to come down, specifically in the sealed, but cards in and of themselves are inevitably going to continue to drop as more product is being opened. So now you have to ask yourself the question, what is the next step? And so what do I mean by this? Of course, obviously I've used the term bull trend and bear trend, which usually means like we're trending a lot in one direction, whether it be up or down. And so obviously I've been recently giving a lot of bearish sentiment, saying that I do think that we're in a bear market and we're trending downwards. Of course, there will be upside to come, especially in certain areas. But with that being said, there's also an argument to be made that this could be a potential bottoming. But also we had that same exact thing that we kind of saw with Battle Styles. We thought Battle Styles was kind of bottom, and it's continued to drop more once again, along with all the other boxes. So now you say to yourself, okay, is now the time to get in? Should I be waiting? What's kind of the next step in that? And so this is kind of something that we're going to go over. So one of the things that I like to really kind of talk about, and I've mentioned this before, I respond to people's comments, and I've had this conversation with many people about this, but you can't look at this as a short-term game, right? Most of the people that do look at this as a very, very short-term game are like scalpers, flippers. And, if that's your prerogative, great. Like first off, if you're the person going to Walmart and buying up everything and then flipping, like that's kind of scummy. But if we're talking about someone who is an investor, who is looking at this on the short term, let's say, a month or 2 months turning profit, that's not bad. I don't think that's bad by any means. You're an investor. You're not a scalper coming in trying to buy up, all of this product and inventory in a freaking Walmart. Not for kids to buy and help grow the actual pool of people in the market, let alone playing the game and enjoying it. So completely different situation. So the reason why I'm saying looking at it from a different lens is, for now, I don't think it's a good there will be opportunities, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's a good opportunity when it comes to playing the short-term game, like buying and flipping within a couple of months. I think at this point, now that we're especially in a bear market, you got to really look at it as a long-term game, right? So in the context of that, is right now a good opportunity if you're trying to, collect sealed and invest long term? I think there are good opportunities, and I do think there are some opportunities that will appear relatively soon. So one thing I think is very important that a lot of people need to understand when looking at these opportunities, I would say that first and foremost, the most important thing is for those people that do love the hobby and they like to collect, whatever you enjoy is what's most important to you. If you don't enjoy collecting, or you don't, enjoy, putting your money in something that you invest, then it isn't right for you. It's one of those things where you have to say you have to be behind it. You know what I mean? Like, I love Pokemon. I'm passionate about Pokemon. It's something that I care about a lot. And so for that reason, when I put my money behind something, it's because I believe in it. Whether it be I believe in a specific set, whether I believe that there's going to be a good return on that set, or whether it be it's just something that's a part of my collection. That's just my personal belief on the matter. So as far as it goes, when we're taking a look at the landscape, we can take a look at the most recent booster boxes and see the prices that have collapsed the most. Now, you have to say to yourself, okay, we've got Battle Styles is the cheapest. You got Chilling Reigns booster box, second cheapest, and then Evolving Skies. And it's almost like 1-to-1 how different they are. $20 difference, not $20, I'm sorry, $10 difference, $20 difference. And then from then to then, it's $30 difference. And of course, Fusion Strike is right there. Now, with that being said, you got to ask yourself, okay, which one do I invest in? I feel like it should be pretty transparent, but I think it's still important to go over which is a good one to invest. So we're going to take a look at the overall booster box market from the Sun and Moon era. So as you can see, you've got Crimson Invasion, and we can even look at the history of Pokemon sets. So if you want to take a look and say, okay, let's take a look at the history of Pokemon sets, right? So let's go to Wikipedia. Everyone's gonna give me shit for using Wikipedia, but it's still an important area of information. So take a look at this, right? So these are the release dates for the sets. So the set in and of itself, for let's take a look. Which is the one that I was just going to look over? Yeah, Crimson Invasion is the 4th set to come out in the Sun and Moon era, right? Burning Shadows came out a little bit before. Ultra Prism, Forbidden Light, Celestial Storm, all these came out, either several months to a year or so later. So then why is it that the least expensive one of the sets is Crimson Invasion? Now, of course, you got to say to yourself, oh, but it's still selling for $160. It's been a return of, that's about 4 years. It's November. Yeah, it'll be officially 4 years as of a little bit less than a week ago. So, I mean, the return itself is 50-60%. I mean, if you're talking about what prices you probably got this booster box for back in the day, you probably actually got it for around $67, something like that, back before inflation kind of took a real hit. I mean, some places were paying as high as $76, but regardless of the fact of the matter, you're paying that much, especially for a set that wasn't that popular, you're still getting 100x return. So am I to say that Crimson Invasion would have been a bad investment back then? Not necessarily, because I do think sealed long-term will, retain value. And as you can see, like the residual growth that it got in a 4-year span was very healthy. However, when you say to yourself, we take a set like Guardian Rising, wasn't a super popular set, came out a little bit before Crimson Invasion, and it's almost $100 more. Or you say Unified Minds, which came out a year later, I think, and it's $200 more. You have to look in the grand scheme of things when you say to yourself, do I think that sealed in and of itself is a bad investment? Overall, no. But I do think you also have to understand the timing of the market, because I think that's the most important. And now we can look back and say to ourselves, okay, those sets based off the overall return are the ones that perform the best. Why did they perform the best? Specifically, you have to look at the research behind what you think is going to perform the best next. So you can take a look currently right now and you can see to yourself, okay, I think that the Evolving Skies is going to perform the best. Or you could make an argument Fusion Strike's going to perform the best based off of current price. I think that's very deceptive, and I think what's most important is looking at the overall hype of the set, looking at the overall sentiment of the set. Do I, of course, think that Evolving Skies of, these 4 booster boxes will perform the best? Yes, but you can also see Vivid Voltage right now and say Vivid Voltage is $40 higher. It must mean that it's going to outperform Evolving Skies. Not necessarily. You could also make the same argument for Rebel Clash. You just have to look at the difference between the time You have to look at the time in which the set came out as well as the time of growth for its overall low point. So, perfect example. We can say to ourselves that Evolving Skies of the most recent sets had, prior to Vivid Voltage, the fastest amount of growth from an overall percentage perspective. After its initial release, it got down to as low as 120, and then it went all the way up and almost pushed 200. Vivid Voltage did just basically the same pattern Evolving Skies did, and then eventually went back up to 200, 220, and then eventually Vivid had another reprint. And this was past wave 1, 2, 3. This was just an extra wave that they come out because they knew Vivid was getting expensive, and because of that, shot down all the way to 120 again, and now we're looking at it residually climbing back up again. Now, is that to say that, like I said before, Vivid Voltage could potentially outperform Evolving Skies? Yes, but they're following very similar patterns. So when you're looking at things to invest in long term, you have to say to yourself, okay, why is this set so popular? Why is it performing better than other sets? You also want to look at it as well on initial releases. So initial releases are very important because if you guys remember, when Battle Styles initially released, the price of it absolutely tanked. And when I say that, every single set, like 9 times out of 10, will initially start to go down when it's starting to become, more popular. Because, for example, on TCG Player, you can't put pre-orders unless you are a brick and mortar. So once that date line comes for people that aren't brick and mortars to put up product and they have that option or that opportunity, then it's kind of like a race to, sell their product. And then once, the market finds its bottom, then that's the bottom. Now, as far as it goes, Battle Styles found a bottom faster when it first came out, and then Chilling Reigns found a pretty fast bottom at the time, and then same with Evolving Skies. So I think the ones that are going to perform the best are the ones that find the highest floor. And so what do I mean by the highest floor? It means that basically you have your pre-order prices, and then once it's initially dropped, then you see, okay, how low is it going to drop? Fusion Strike, for example, Surprisingly enough, it's actually following a very similar pattern to what Evolving Skies did. Evolving Skies dropped to 120 right before the release, and then of course when it came out, a lot of people were speculating Evolving Skies is going to all of a sudden continue to go down because it's officially been released. However, Evolving Skies actually performed really strong, and it turned around and went all the way up to 190. Now, does that mean Fusion Strike's going to do the exact same thing? Of course not, because the hype around Evolving Skies is a lot more different. And so you have to look as far as it goes, what is in those sets? What is the hype around those sets? Why is it performing stronger than the others? Now, of course, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but when we're looking at a lot of these sets, for me personally, I like to look at the sets that perform the strongest over time and see those opportunities. Although I am someone that does have, sealed battle styles, and I also do have sealed Chilling Reigns, I still think that Evolving Skies, is going to perform more than likely the best out of the three of them. But of course, I still hold battle styles. I still hold Chilling Reign because it's still something that I like to invest in. I like to invest in sealed product, especially as someone who is able to get at these wholesale prices as a retailer from my distributor. Regardless of whether prices have gone up or not, I'm still able to get them at relatively affordable prices where I can see long term. Now, another question you got to ask yourself as well. Okay, Battle Styles is $30 cheaper than an Evolving Skies box. That means every single, 4 Battle Styles booster boxes you buy, the leftover money that you're saving, you're able to buy yourself an Evolving Skies booster box. So, you're saving a lot of money. And you could say on the short term, you believe that Battle Styles, could eventually turn around and you can get a quick flip on it and get a short-term gain because you'll have more capital to buy more Battle Styles booster boxes. But also at the same time, you'll have to look at the fact of the matter that the sets that do perform the best are the ones that typically have the best turnaround when it comes to the overall percentage gained on return that you're going to be receiving. So it's one of those things where you really got to look at it in context, Is it one of those things where you say to yourself, it's worth an investment? I think it's not bad ultimately because, like I said, sealed long term, but I'm thinking you have a lot safer of a bet. It's like, for example, people like, let's look at SM Pratt, for example. One of the biggest things that he kind of talks about, and he talked about it specifically in 2018, but he'd probably talk about it a lot now. He would say that Wizard of the Coast Air was one of the safest bets. And the reason why Wizard of the Coast was one of the safest bets, it was out of print. It has relatively high demand, especially considering the nostalgia hold for it. And for a lot of people as well, base set was a lot of their favorite sets. So when looking in the context of that, obviously, Evolving Skies, it's not a set that, is super old like Wizard of the Coast. However, it's a very popular set based off the fact that it does have that nostalgic appeal with the EVs. And on top of that as well, it is one of those sets that is going to perform well over time based on the fact of the matter that we've already seen historical demand for it recently. So there's a similar correlation, not in the same way, obviously, because we're looking at modern versus vintage. So it's not it's not correlated in that exact, instance. But at the same time, you can still make, judgments on whether or not you think it's going to perform better. Basically, you have to look at the key characters in the set. Base set. What's the nostalgia that drives base set? A lot of people love Eevee. A lot of people love, Charizard and the starters and Pikachu. And so you say to yourself, what does Evolving Skies have? Evolving Skies has Eevees and a lot of the evolutions, whether it be from Gen 1, Gen 2. It's one of those sets that has that nostalgic appeal. Kind of like Vivid Voltage. Vivid Voltage has the Pikachu. It has that nostalgic appeal. And so that's one of the reasons why it's, whether you love it or you hate it, it's going to perform better because it does have that nostalgic appeal because a lot of people like to collect characters that they grew up with. Chilling Reigns, on the other hand, although it's going to perform well because it does have cards such as Shiny Snorlax and other cards that a lot of people like, and, Battle Styles has that Tyranitar alternate art that a lot of people like. Evolving Skies has a lot more big hitters, and the artwork, there's an argument to be made that really kind of took a big leap forward when it came to that kind of overall set. So I think it's a very good set personally to invest in. And I mean, you can go back and you can say to yourself, okay, like of the most recent sets, Cosmic Eclipse is the most expensive, but it's one of the most sought after ones. Why is it such a popular set? I mean, when you look at the set in and of itself, came out, 2-3 years ago at this point, and it's already, $5,000. it's one of those sets that has that high demand because it has some amazing alternate artwork when it comes to the trainer cards. You've got, the Pikachu alternate art card, and you have a lot of the Gen 4 alternate art cards that a lot of people really like. And of course, you also have the Dialga Palkia card that a lot of people also really enjoyed. I mean, it's like a just a box that has a lot of amazing cards in it. I mean, we can even take a look and see, like, Cosmic Eclipse, as far as, what cards were very popular in the set. You've got also, the waifu cards. You've, of course, got to have a Charizard in it. Of course, that's all the popular sets are. You've got a lot of these amazing trainer cards. You've got the Blastoise and the Piplup, Tag Team, the Reshiram, Zekrom, Beautiful. There's that Pikachu I was telling you with red. I mean, a lot of these cards have amazing artwork that a lot of people love, So, Venusaur and Snivy as well. Like, the set in and of itself has a lot of amazing, pieces of artwork that really just draw people into it. And it really is what it's about when it comes to that set, It has the nostalgic appeal. It has the artwork appeal. And on top of that as well, it's currently seen its potential way out of reprint. Obviously, the Pokemon Company came and said that they're going to reprint just about anything leading up until, I mess this up every single time. They're going to have anything as open a reprint past the evolution era. So, it's still possible. We haven't seen a reprint of it, so it's, there's no guarantee. But without getting off topic on a tangent here, the point that I'm ultimately trying to make is I'm trying to make that correlation and looking at what, is a good opportunity when it comes to investing in a set, And I'm saying this when it comes to modern, not everyone here that's watching, or just everyone in general, is going to say to themselves, when it comes to an investment perspective, I'm going to just be specifically investing in older sets, like in the Black and White or the Diamond and Pearl era. Those are expensive, Like, even if you say to yourself, like, okay, I'm going to invest in a pack, which, a pack is for anywhere between $40 to $100, which could be the same as a booster box, But for some people, they don't like to collect packs. They like to collect booster boxes. So they want to have that opportunity to be able to collect what they like, because that's what's important. And that's one of the reasons why, this video, I want people to understand, if you do take away something from this video, this is what's most important. This is not a message just for the investors. This is a message for the collectors. Because here's the deal, man. As a collector myself, what do I want to do more than buy Pokemon at the cheapest price possible so I can collect more Pokemon? If you're saying to yourself, like, oh, well, I don't care about this as an investment long term, inherently they're one and the same when it comes to correlation. As an investor, you want to see the best opportunity to get in the market. As a collector, you want to see the best opportunity to buy Pokemon cards or Pokemon product to collect. It's kind of one of the reasons why a lot of people initial wave won't buy, the Pokemon cards when a new set comes out, because they're at their highest point, and people will tend to wait until, 3, 4, 5 months afterwards when you start to see that decline. If you're an investor, if you're a card collector, unless you're having one of those tendencies where you're like, I just want it now because I want to collect it, that's your prerogative. You can spend that extra money, but you're going to be saving 50 to 70, 80% if you just wait a couple of months. And so timing the market is still something that's very important as a collector. And so ultimately, at the end of the day, the whole kind of centerpiece of this video and what I'm talking about is understanding timing the market, understanding looking at opportunities in the market, and knowing this is a long-term game. This is not a game that you're going to be looking at and saying, I'm going to flip this in the next 3 or 4 months, boom, it's going to turn around. No. If we think this is truly a real downtrend, are there opportunities for you to buy such things as Evolving Skies as it is near that wholesale price? It's $30 less. Of course, I do think it's an opportunity, and I'm not a financial advisor, but I wouldn't say it's a bad idea to invest now. It could potentially continue to go down to $100. We're in that mentality where a lot of people are like, the sky is falling, and I wouldn't be surprised if it went down to 100, 110. So as far as it goes, being patient is not a bad thing, but also at the same exact time, there's still a lot of opportunity in this market. And I think there's going to be more opportunity to come, which is why I'm looking at the correlation. So because we're going to go back, whether it be in the next couple of months, whether it be in the next year, once the market has really started to continue to go downwards, and we're going to see to ourselves, okay, what's the current price of a Cosmic Eclipse booster box? What's the current price of an Evolutions booster box? Have they gone up? Have they gone down? Where are we looking at this? Because at the end of the day, like I said before, what matters is the bottom, because Evolutions might have hit $1,000, but it's at $700 right now. It's already gone 30% down. Who's to say it can't go down to $300, $400, $200, and it could continue to go down. But once it's found that bottom, it's going to have a higher bottom than, let's say, a set like Crimson Invasion, which what's to say it couldn't retrace all the way down to $100. So a lot of these sets that are going to be a part of the market, when they do go down, they're going to still have the highest floor, which is going to mean in the long term, you're going to have the safest investment when you do go through a bear market. Now, if you want to, of course, you can always wait. And you can say to yourself, I'm a firm believer that this is going to go down for the next year. And I don't think that's bad. But also, I don't think it's a bad idea to put in a little bit right now, hold it as a collection piece, and then later down the line, if you do see that the prices continue to go down, then you reinvest more. That's kind of the approach that I like to take. Like I said before, I have some Battle Styles. I have some Chilling Reign. Of course, I have Evolving Skies that I had held on to a while back. And now I'm looking at the market and saying to myself, okay, from my initial investment, I haven't made any money, but this is an opportunity for me to quote unquote buy the dip. The reason why I say quote unquote is because people use that term too literally, because guess what, guys? You don't want to be catching a falling knife. And for those people that don't know what that term means, basically you're like, oh, it's just a dip, and then it drops 30-40% more. I mean, guys, you got to look at it as long-term opportunities to invest. Because whether you are super bearish or whether you are super bullish, if you do believe in the market, you'll realize that long term the prices will eventually go back up again. So it's something that is very important. So, my last two videos were very bearish, like everything's going to go down, it's going to keep going down. And although I do believe that, and I do believe there's going to be more opportunities in this market, I do think there's some really good opportunities currently that have presented themselves. Really want to do your own research and kind of, like I said before, take the words that I've said as far as what you're looking for when it comes to investing. Most importantly, it's something that you like to invest because you're passionate about it. And then secondly, of course, looking at the demand, looking at how the bottoming out of the price was, look at how high it went initially, and making sure you're understanding the time correlation of current modern sets as well as prior ones, because that's what's going to be most important, So those are kind of the key takeaways I want everyone to be able to kind of get away from this video. So, because I mean, guys, we're in an opportunity right now where you can really come in and you can buy up a lot of sealed product that is in the modern era, and you can get it at a relatively cheap price. And I mean, some of these prices are like so near wholesale price. It's crazy how cheap it is. And you're going to see older sets in the Sun and Moon era and the XY era that are going to continue to drop and are going to hit those bottoms because the demand is going to go down. Certain ones will find their floors sooner than others because the demand is going to be higher. But of course, certain ones are going to continue to free fall. And so that's where you got to really be on guard in looking at a lot of these opportunities in the market. So ultimately, like I said before, what are we doing here? Where's our next move? What's the opportunity we're going to take advantage of the market, whether it be from a collecting perspective and coming in and buying product that we think is cheap and relatively affordable, or whether it be from an investment perspective and seeing that opportunity to hold, because this is a long-term game at the end of the day. So, please let me know what you think about my opinions on everything. Of course, it's really appreciated. I love having conversations with you guys in the comment section down below. So feel free to leave a comment letting me know your thoughts on the video, and if it's something that you truly believe that, it's a good time to get in, or whether you think you're going to wait and you're going to hold out and see if the price goes up, or if you think this is the bottom, or whichever way. Just give me your thoughts. Give me your opinions on this. It really does help out the channel when it comes to the algorithms. And of course, as always, I like to interact with you guys, so it's really fun to get feedback and criticism. And of course, leave a like on the video as well. It's really important and it really helps out. And then lastly, subscribe. We're actually getting close to getting 200 subscribers, relatively close here. And for those that don't know, on Friday, we're going to be having our break. I'll be sending out an email for those who are a part of the website. But as far as it goes, we're going to be doing our Fusion Strike break. So that is going to be taking place 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So for those people that want to partake in that, just check us out on our website. We're also going to be doing a giveaway. I'll be talking a little bit more on that, but we're going to be giving away some Pokemon product. All you have to do to be a part of that is you have to either watch the stream or just watch any of the upcoming videos that we're going to be posting. Be subscribed, leave a comment down below, and like the video. That way, that when we do the official raffle and we announce the prizes and everything, that you'll be able to be entered in for it, because that's kind of our way of being able to see who's entering in the contest. So it really does help out if you do leave a comment down below, because then we'll be able to, you know, enter you in, as well as having that like and subscription. But yeah, I'll be making sure to give an update in an upcoming video, as well as shooting out an email. So please make sure to go check the link down below. You can follow us on all of our social media platforms, and of course, you know, subscribe to our mailing list on our website, and join our Discord to join the community of 100+ people that are awesome Pokemon fans that love to have discussions about Pokemon. But yeah, that is all I have for today's video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Until then, I will see you guys on Friday, where we will be opening up some Fusion Strike booster boxes. Peace.